The India-Pakistan relationship is marred by a complex history rooted in the 1947 partition of British India. The partition, intended to create two independent states along religious lines, triggered mass displacement and violence. Millions were uprooted from their homes and communal riots claimed countless lives. This traumatic event sowed the seeds of mistrust and animosity that continue to plague the relationship. The partition also left behind the unresolved issue of Kashmir. This princely state, with a Muslim-majority population but a Hindu ruler, became a flashpoint between India and Pakistan. Both countries claimed sovereignty over Kashmir, leading to the First Kashmir War in 1947. The partition's legacy continues to cast a long shadow on India-Pakistan relations. The unresolved disputes and historical grievances fuel suspicion and hostility, making it difficult to build trust and cooperation. The partition's legacy continues to influence the domestic politics of both countries. Nationalist sentiments, often rooted in the events of 1947, are easily exploited for political gain, further complicating efforts at reconciliation. The India-Pakistan rivalry has resulted in several armed conflicts, each leaving behind a trail of destruction and deepening the divide. Following the 1947 Kashmir War, which ended with a ceasefire line dividing the region, the two countries clashed again in 1965. The 1965 war, sparked by disputes over Kashmir, ended in a stalemate. However, it further cemented the militarization of the India-Pakistan border and intensified the rivalry. In 1971, India and Pakistan fought a third war, this time over the liberation of Bangladesh, formerly East Pakistan. The 1971 war resulted in a decisive victory for India and led to the creation of Bangladesh. While this conflict did not directly involve Kashmir, it significantly impacted the regional power dynamics and further strained India-Pakistan relations. The Kashmir conflict remains a central point of contention. Both India and Pakistan claim the region in its entirety. The line of control, established after the 1947 war, serves as a de facto border dividing Kashmir between the two countries. The unresolved status of Kashmir continues to be a major obstacle to peace and stability in South Asia. India-Pakistan relations are further complicated by the issue of terrorism. India has long accused Pakistan of harboring and supporting terrorist groups operating against it, particularly in the Kashmir Valley. The 2008 Mumbai attacks, carried out by the Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba, brought these tensions to the forefront. India alleges that Pakistan's intelligence agency, the Inter-Services Intelligence, provides support to groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba. Pakistan denies these allegations, claiming it's also a victim of terrorism. The cross-border infiltration of militants remains a contentious issue, leading to frequent military skirmishes along the line of control. The heavily militarized border between India and Pakistan is a constant reminder of the deep-seated mistrust. Ceasefire violations, often resulting in civilian casualties, are common. The lack of trust and constant threat of violence make it challenging to address other important bilateral issues. The issue of terrorism has become a major roadblock in India-Pakistan dialogue. India insists that Pakistan must take concrete action against terrorist groups operating from its soil. Pakistan, on the other hand, demands credible evidence for such claims. The political tensions between India and Pakistan have severely hampered economic cooperation. Despite their geographical proximity and potential for mutually beneficial trade, the two countries have limited economic ties. Trade between India and Pakistan is minimal, routed mostly through third countries like Dubai. The lack of direct trade routes and the absence of a most favored nation status for each other have hindered economic integration. The potential for increased trade and investment remains largely untapped due to the political climate. The economic cost of the conflict is substantial for both nations. The lack of economic engagement not only impacts businesses but also limits people-to-people contact. Without regular interaction and cooperation in areas like trade and tourism, it becomes difficult to build trust and understanding between the populations. Several initiatives to improve trade relations, such as granting most favored nation status, have been stalled due to political roadblocks. The potential for a thriving South Asian economic union benefiting all countries in the region remains a distant dream. Section 5. The Balochistan factor, insurgency, and regional implications. Adding another layer of complexity to India-Pakistan relations is the ongoing insurgency in Pakistan's Balochistan province. The Balochistan Liberation Army, or BLA, has been waging an armed struggle against the Pakistani state for greater autonomy and control over resources. India has been accused by Pakistan of supporting the Baloch separatists, a charge India denies. The Balochistan issue has become a source of tension, with Pakistan alleging Indian interference in its internal affairs. The escalation of violence in Balochistan, including attacks on Chinese interests, has raised concerns about regional stability. The Balochistan conflict has the potential to further escalate tensions between India and Pakistan. Both countries view the conflict through the lens of their own strategic interests, making it difficult to find common ground. The involvement of external actors in the Balochistan conflict further complicates the situation. The presence of foreign intelligence agencies operating in the region adds to the volatility and increases the risk of unintended consequences. Section 6. Kashmir erupts. April 2025, attacks and heightened tensions. The year 2025 witnessed a dangerous escalation in India-Pakistan tensions following a series of deadly attacks in Indian-administered Kashmir. On April 22, 2025, gunmen attacked tourists, killing 26 civilians in the deadliest attack since 2000. Another attack on April 25 in Pahalgam claimed 26 more lives. These attacks, claimed by the Resistance Front, a proxy for the LET, sent shockwaves through the region. India blamed Pakistan for providing support to the terrorists, while Pakistan denied any involvement. The attacks triggered cross-border firing exchanges, raising fears of a wider conflict. The April 2025 attacks highlighted the precarious nature of the India-Pakistan relationship. The attacks demonstrated the ability of terrorist groups to exploit the existing tensions and the potential for such incidents to quickly spiral out of control. The international community condemned the attacks and called for restraint from both India and Pakistan. However, the attacks underscored the urgent need for a renewed diplomatic effort to address the underlying causes of the conflict. Section 7. A fragile peace, diplomatic efforts and minimalist engagement. Despite the deep-seated mistrust and frequent crises, India and Pakistan have engaged in various diplomatic efforts over the years to improve relations. These efforts have ranged from high-level summits to back-channel diplomacy. However, progress has been elusive, and the relationship remains fragile. The current state of engagement can be described as minimalist engagement or cold peace. While diplomatic channels remain open, there is a lack of trust and political will to address the core issues. The two countries often communicate through dossiers and official statements rather than direct dialogue. The fragile nature of the relationship is evident in the ease with which even minor incidents can trigger a diplomatic standoff. Both sides often resort to blaming each other, hindering the possibility of constructive engagement. The lack of progress in resolving the Kashmir issue continues to cast a shadow over any attempts at normalization. The deep divisions over Kashmir make it difficult to build consensus on even less contentious issues, hindering progress on a broader peace process. Section 8. External players, the US, China, and the geopolitical chessboard. The India-Pakistan conflict is not confined to South Asia. It has significant implications for regional and global powers. The United States, as a key player in the region, has long been involved in trying to manage the rivalry between India and Pakistan. The US has strategic partnerships with both India and Pakistan, creating a delicate balancing act. While the US sees India as a key partner in countering China's growing influence, it also relies on Pakistan for cooperation in Afghanistan and counter-terrorism efforts. China, on the other hand, has strengthened its ties with Pakistan in recent years. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a flagship project of China's Belt and Road Initiative, has further cemented their relationship. China's growing influence in the region adds another layer of complexity to the India-Pakistan dynamic. The involvement of external players can sometimes exacerbate tensions as each country pursues its own interests. However, these actors can also play a constructive role in promoting dialogue and confidence-building measures between India and Pakistan. Section 9. Charting a path forward, the imperative of dialogue and de-escalation. The India-Pakistan relationship remains one of the most volatile and dangerous in the world. The potential for conflict, particularly given the nuclear dimension, makes it imperative to find ways to de-escalate tensions and seek peaceful resolution of disputes. Dialogue, even if it begins with small steps, is crucial. Back-channel diplomacy, confidence-building measures, and people-to-people contacts can help reduce mistrust and create an environment conducive to addressing more challenging issues. Addressing the root causes of the conflict, including the Kashmir dispute, is essential for lasting peace. While a quick and easy solution is unlikely, sustained dialogue and a willingness to compromise are essential. The international community has a vital role to play in encouraging dialogue and mediating between the two countries. Regional organizations and global powers must work together to create a conducive atmosphere for peace and stability in South Asia.